All right, I have chosen this picture for this video um, based off the fact that we don't need to look at some guy's leg for the next 3 minutes while I talk. Anyway, as you heard me reference, and as you guys know from following it, I had intended to run my 2007 F-150, which was something I pulled off the road and have been using strictly off-road for a couple of years now. And I also, what I will be running in this event is my 2019, which you heard me reference, which I'm still daily driving. But I just didn't have time to build the truck, and not knowing if I was going to be well received, I didn't want to build the truck specifically for off-road and mud racing and not be well received at events. And I didn't have time due to and I know I've covered this a little bit in comments on the in the group chat, but I don't need to feel the need to protect this as far as from real life event, being that I also discovered I had endangered species of wild rabbit living on and around my property, and I've been focusing a lot of time to providing a habitat in which they will thrive rather than continue to go extinct. So I just didn't have time to build this truck up the way I wanted to, and again, not knowing if I was going to be well received, sinking money into a racing truck just didn't make sense. So I ended up running my daily driver, which was discussed in the previous video and will be discussed in the next video. But I wanted to discuss the driver's meeting as well as the build of this truck. The driver's meeting, which took place after my last video, but before this one, obviously, I want to go into one thing. This mud event, this guy always was known and was happy to be known for having the nastiest mud in the region. Jokingly called himself the mudologist. I mean, just he actually ended up becoming a national mud celebrity, I guess would be the way to put it. So he promised us in the driver's meeting that this mud was going to be nasty, which he certainly delivered on that promise, which you'll see in the videos. But going into it, knowing I was going to be running my daily driver, I had, again in 2008 through 2012, run an 88 Bronco 2 build I had in his deep mud, which was nasty. But I'd also a couple of times run it in a shallow mud, and it was certainly known and whatnot to be more mud than, thick mud than other tracks in the region that were doing mud racing at the time. It was something he was proud of, so he is still proud of it, and he delivered even better than before, because you're going to hear me comment about when I pull up to the line for the first time in my daily driver, being like, oh shit. So going into that, again, he had been posting pictures coming up to this event of them running rototillers down these mud drag lanes, which I thought was awesome. And hilarious that I was running a rototiller, because one of the things I was doing for these rabbits was to be planting a hayfield. in the middle of the woods for ground cover. But anyway, I'd seen his pictures and I knew his mud was nasty, and I knew that going into it. With my daily driver, I had plans to clean it. I have a pressure washer, and I certainly did. I spent the next week with a 3200 psi pressure washer washing out every nook and cranny of my daily driver, because he certainly delivered. That mud was nasty. I think I owe him for about 1.5 yards of loam. So I was certainly happy to be running my daily driver, and the fact that this white truck, the way you're currently looking at it, which is the way it was when I parked it, would have gotten stuck rather than been the fun experience I did have in my truck. But in my 2019, which is lifted, it's on 3 inches of lift and 35s. Ironically, it's pretty big around town, but when I got up there, when I was filling out the driver registration, there you're supposed to name your truck, and given that Big Red just wasn't fitting around there, my truck is a bright red. You'll see it when I race. It looks like it belongs in the Show and Shine, which will be commented on later on, rather than the mud drags. And anyway, I decided to name it Red Rocket, and I was certainly hoping that got called out over the speakers. But with it being at about 500 horsepower, which I mentioned in the first video, and having a locker in the rear, I was actually able to do considerably better than we could have ever hoped for in this truck. But as you see it, this is the truck that I will be building for mud racing in the future, and I've already decided its name as a tribute to the late Toby Keith. It will be White Trash with Money. Again, Red Rocket and White Trash with Money. So Red Rocket is definitely done racing in the nasty mud. I might be racing it in other, there's another event in the region that I intend to go to with White Trash with Money to be running their deep mud, but they literally refer to it as dirt drags. So if it is not so bad that I think I would damage Red Rocket by running it in that, I am open to running it in this other venue in their dirt drags. But Red Rocket's done in the mud. But anyway, White Trash with Money, that's going to be this build. And I'll probably be doing a build here on YouTube with it. So yeah, anyway, like I said, drivers meeting, we promised it was going to be nasty, and certainly delivered. White Trash with Money coming at you at some point in the future. But definitely, like I said, one of the main reasons I took so long to start this series was the loss of anonymity, but also the fact that I have begun this build, which I'll be following up on, as well as as mentioned, I spent over a week every single day at the work pressure washing my daily driver. So anyway, sorry if I ramble.